Have you ever wondered how King Solomon became so wealthy? How did he get all that gold and treasure? Well, in today's video, we're going to find out just that. So grab your sword and shield, my little warriors, because it's time for an adventure back to ancient times. Once upon a time in ancient Israel, there was a king named Solomon. He was famous for his wisdom, but he was also super rich, like crazy rich. People from all over came to see him because they heard he had more gold than anyone else. But where did all that gold come from? Let me tell you a tale of daring escapes, clever plans, and a whole lot of gold. When Solomon's dad, King David, was just a young lad, he was just a young lad himself. He took a big risk and stole some gold from an unsuspecting giant named Goliath. Now, this wasn't just any giant. Goliath was like the Dwayne Johnson of his day, all muscles and scary glares. But David, with just a slingshot and some stones, took him down. That's right, he outsmarted and defeated the giant. And when Goliath's massive body was cut open, guess what they found? A whole bunch of gold. It was so much gold, it practically screamed, "Hey, look at me." This gold came from the kings of Arabia who traded with Goliath. They thought Goliath was invincible, so they gave him tons of gold. But little did they know, David was about to turn the tables and snatch their gold right back. Now, after defeating Goliath, David went on to become king. He ruled wisely and well, and under his reign, Israel became super powerful. But even though he was a great leader, he wasn't really a rich man. You know, he lived a pretty simple life. But one day, while he was hanging out in the tabernacle of the congregation, he got a visit from someone very important, Jeroboam, the son of Ner. Jeroboam was from Egypt, and he brought with him an amazing gift, 42 talents of gold. Now, this wasn't just any old gold. It was from the Queen of Sheba. She had heard amazing things about King David, and she wanted to pay him a little special visit. When Jeroboam arrived, he didn't just dump the gold off and leave. Nah, he stayed in Israel for quite some time. He became friends with King David, and even married one of David's daughters. Now, you might be wondering, why am I telling you all this? Well, let me tell you, these two became quite the duo. After Jeroboam settled in, he decided to go all out and build some amazing trading ships. He worked with folks from Ophir, and together they built 220 ships. These ships were like the iPhones of their day, super advanced and really expensive. But hey, they were worth every penny because they brought in a ton of riches to Israel. These ships sailed the seas for 12 years, trading all kinds of fancy goods. And when they finally returned to port, they brought back more gold than anyone could have imagined. In total, they brought back 666 talents of gold. That's like finding a four-leaf clover, except way better. The best part, they also brought back tons of silver, spices, and precious stones. It was like Christmas morning for King David. He couldn't believe his eyes. Now, here's where the story takes a turn. Some people tried to steal some of the gold. I mean, who wouldn't, right? But they weren't smart enough to get away with it. So they got caught and, well, let's just say they faced the consequences. After that little mishap, King David decided to lock the gold up tight in the Temple Mount. He was like, "No way, Jose," to anyone who wanted to steal it. But here's the thing. When Solomon took over as king, he had a lot of building projects in mind. You know, he wanted to make Israel super fancy, and he needed gold for all his projects. So he asked his friend, Jeroboam, if he could use some of that gold. But Jeroboam was like, "Nah, man, that gold ain't mine. It belongs to the Queen of Sheba." And David was all, "Oh snap, I forgot about that." So he sent a message to the Queen of Sheba, asking if he could borrow some of the gold. And she was all, "Sure, why not?" But secretly, she was thinking, this is my chance to get closer to the royal family, and maybe even find a husband for myself. So anyway, the queen sent some gold, And even more than that, she sent herself. Can you believe it? The Queen of Sheba came to Israel to check out this famous king, King Solomon. They had quite the connection, and she ended up staying for 10 days. Can you imagine the conversations they must have had? The two of them talked about everything under the sun, like poetry, music, and wisdom. And let me tell you, they were both pretty good at it. But eventually, it was time for the queen to head back home. And before she left, she gifted Solomon with even more gold. Talk about a royal flush. With all this gold, Solomon was able to build amazing things like temples and palaces. His wealth became a legend, and people from all over came to see him. And that, my little warriors, is how King Solomon got all that gold. If you enjoyed this thrilling adventure back in time, don't forget to hit the like button. We've got lots more stories of bravery, wisdom, and a whole lot of gold waiting for you. So stay tuned. Until next time, keep being awesome.